Good morning everyone. Today we are now streaming on Twitch on Liftair virtual airline based on Copenhagen. Today we will fly a flight from Copenhagen to Bergen, which is a really interesting airport to arrive because it has strong wings on arrival. And we are going to fly with the PMDG 737-800 with the Liftair livery, as you can see on the image of the video. And yeah, we are going to our cockpit, which is on cold and dark right now. So we will be flying on IVEO. This is our airplane today. As you can see, we'll connect the boarding gate. Then, as you can see, we are flying with the 737-800 winglets, which it has a registration of Oscar Yankee Golf Uniform Lima for Liftair. Our call sign will be Liftair 6 Juliet Tango, as you can see on the video, and we will go to our cockpit. We will also fly with FS2CREW, as you can see over here, via voice recognition system. And yep, we will start our pre-flight procedure. We will start the batteries, and we will configure the payload. If we check our flight plan, which is over here, let's see, yep, over here, you will see we have a zero fuel weight of 62.4. So we will set that on our FMC. .4. Okay, and the fuel, we can check our flight plan again, and we can see over here our block fuel will be 6,792 kilograms. So we will set that on our FMC. 6,792 kilograms. Okay, we will also check the pit covers are removed, the ground power is connected, and we will set up FS2CREW now.
Okay, let's get this show on the road.
So now the first officer will perform the electrical power-up procedure. So we can check the meter at Copenhagen, where you can see wind is 010 at 7 knots, cab OK conditions, and the QNH is 1030. So we'll set our QNH to hectopascals, so 1030. We will start our FMC now. We will also start the smart cards for Liftair. So we will check if there's any ATC online. Cruise level will be flight level 340. Okay.
Just setting out for the walk around.
So now just the first officer came for the walk around. We are at Copenhagen Airport, and our gate is gate Charlie 30, as you can see over here. We'll set up. We will switch our IRSs to nav, so we can align the airplane. And as there is no ATC online now on IVEO, we will switch to the Unicom frequency, which is 122.8. And we will set our transponder on 2000. Okay, now we set our IRS position. and we will start setting up the route. We have saved the route on the PMDG flight plan, so we can directly set our core route. Liftair flight number will be Lima Fox 608 Bravo. And according to the wind we have now, we can expect the departure. Well, we will see. We will check flight radar. What is the runway in use at Copenhagen? Just give me a second. I'm checking it. Okay, we'll see. So now traffic is departing via runway 04 right. So we will expect runway 04 right for departure at Copenhagen. Okay, so we can set our runway to 04 right and we activate the route. Okay, now we will perform the performance finish. We will set our 04 weight, which is 62.3. Cost index of this flight will be 1.5 according to Liftair policy. And if we check again our flight plan, we will see that the reserves for that flight, let me see, we can check over here, let me see, yeah, our final reserve will be 1.1 kilograms, so we will set our reserves to 1.2 more or less. Okay. Okay, so now the transition altitude over here is 5000, but we will check also on the charts. Let's see. Now if we switch to the charts and we set, for example, the SID AirNav departure for runway 04, we will see that the transition altitude is 5000, so it's correctly set. We also will set up now, we'll look for the standard departure we have to follow. We will leave Copenhagen via Mixi. So you can see that according to this chart we have to follow Mixi 1 Echo because we are a jet aircraft, so we have to perform the 1 Echo departure. So we will switch again to our simulator. We click on departures, runway 04 right as set. I will follow let me see the Mixi 1 Echo departure. Let's see if it's over here. 04 right, Mixi 1 Echo. Let's see, because I think it is not. Mixi 1 Echo. Let's see over here. Okay. Yeah, we see that the Mixi 4 Echo is for runway 4 left, but we will be departing for 04 right, so it's not correctly set. We will check again the chart. We have to follow the Mixi.
Hi, the security and safety checks are complete. Can we start boarding now?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes. It's not working over here. Yes. It's not working over here. Let's see. Let's wait a little bit. Yes. Yes, please. So we see that FS2CREW is not working. Let me check it. Yes. Yes, please.
Back from the walk around, no issues.
Let me see. Checked. Just give me a second, I'm checking it.
Morning. Good morning. Thank you. Hello. Welcome aboard. Good morning.
Glide slope. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Sink rate. Pull up. Terrain. Pull up.
Okay, so now
Don't
problems
sink.
have been solved.
Don't sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear. Too low. Flaps. Too low. Terrain. Glide slope. Bank angle. Bank angle.
We'll continue with the performance in it.
500,
Our cruise level will be 340.
300, 200, 100, 50, 40, 30, 20.
We will take off with a takeoff delay.
Wind shear.
Flaps
Wind
for
shear.
takeoff will be
Wind
5.
shear. Too low. Terrain.
And the trim will be set to
Caution,
5.11
terrain.
units.
Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
Let's see, over here, V2 150, we set the V2 on the MCP. Our initial altitude will be flight level 120, we am the flight directors too. We set our cruise altitude, the pressurization mode, which is 340.
Monitor radar display. Go around. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead.
So now,
Wind shear ahead.
regarding the departure, if we are departing on 04 right, we will have to follow the MIXI 1 alpha. We will have to set again the takeoff speeds. Done. And we have completed our startup of the FMC. We have to wait a little bit for the first officer to perform the pre-flight procedure. We will check also the oxygen. That is 100%. We will set the runway heading in case of engine fire,
TCAS test pass.
which is 039. And after that we will make the pre-flight checklist, so we will have to wait a little bit.
Hi, here's the fuel cell.
Thanks.
Anytime.
So the fuel sheet has arrived right now. So we check that everything is correct. So to sum up, we are flying today with Liftair from Copenhagen to Bergen. Our call sign will be Liftair 6 Juliet Tango, as you can see on the video. We are flying on a VAO, but there is no ATC right now online, so we are on Unicom on the frequency 122.8. And yeah, we are ready for the pre-flight checklist now. So we will instruct the first officer to make the pre-flight checklist now. Pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Navigation, transfer and display switches. Normal auto. Window heat on. Pressurization mode selector auto. Flight instruments.
Heading 087. Altimeter 1030.
Heading 087. Altimeter 1030. Parking brake.
Set.
Double check that please. Engine start levers.
Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
So now the pre-flight checklist have been completed, and now it is supposed that we need to require the ATC clearance now, but as there is no ATC we won't do so. So now we will set up the FS2CREW for the departure brief. We will do pushback at the gate. HDX is for ground surveillance, but as far as we know, Copenhagen has no ground surveillance, radar ground surveillance, so we will say no. The takeoff thrust will be derated, takeoff flaps will be 5, ETOPS not needed, blitz will be off, anti-ice is not required, takeoff safety. We will set a crew change as it is our first flight of the day, and in case we have an engine fire or even an engine failure or so on, we are underweight as we can see on the flight plan, so we will have to, well, we will be able to return immediately to the to our departure airport, which is Copenhagen. Then the departure procedure will be by SID, the standard instrumental departure, MIXI 1 alpha on runway 04 right. Then there is no noise abatement procedures, departure procedures required. And concerns, we can set birds, terrain, weather and so on, wind shear, but there is, as you can see on the METAR, which is Cabo K now, let me see, 1 second. Yeah, over here it will appear now. Yeah, you see it's Cabo K, so everything is perfect. So we will play the brief.
Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, it's going to be a standard pushback and start off the gate. Taxi route will be as assigned by ATC. It'll be a left seat takeoff using derated thrust. Landing of flaps 5 takeoff. We will configure for a non-standard bleeds off takeoff. Anti-ice will be off. In the event of a malfunction prior to V1, I will call either reject or continue. Standard low speed reject procedures below 80 knots. Between 80 knots and V1, I will only conduct a high-speed reject in the case of an engine fire or failure, predictive wind shear warning, or if there is any other condition that makes the aircraft unable or unsafe to take into the air. I will simultaneously close the thrust levers, disconnect the auto throttle, apply maximum manual braking or verify the operation of the RTO auto brake, apply maximum reverse thrust, verify the extension of the speed brake, and bring the aircraft to a complete stop and set the park brake. We will then run the appropriate checklist or evaluate our options. If you could monitor my actions, make the standard rejected takeoff calls, including any abnormalities you observe before advising ATC. From V1, or if the call is to continue, I will continue the takeoff as per the standard company procedures. We will climb to the MSA and track clear of local terrain. We are under our maximum landing weight, so we're okay to make an immediate return. Okay, all going well, the departure routing will be via the ATC assigned SID, complying with all published speed and altitude restrictions. No noise abatement procedures required. Flight directors are on, mine is master, yours is slave. Navigation radios are set and the NOTAMs and aircraft defect log have been reviewed. Okay, any questions, comments or concerns?
No, it was excellent, so not today.
Departure brief complete.
So now the departure brief has been completed and we have to wait.
Hi guys,
yeah.
Here is the load sheet for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a great flight.
So now the load sheet has arrived. So we have to wait 7 minutes up for departure. So now we can check our takeoff page on the FMC because we will need it on the checklist. We can arm the outer throttle LNAV and VNAV as instructed by FS2CREW standard manual. And today we are flying with SOP1 from FS2CREW, which follows the standard Boeing procedures. Then there are 3 different SOPs. The first one is this one, we are flying with it. The second is based on Norwegian operations, and the third one is based on Ryanair operations. Maybe someday we will fly with the SOP3, but the flows of the captain are really difficult and really long, and the checklists also are really long for them. So it's a little bit challenging to fly with this
Would
SOP.
you like the APU on?
No. Now the first officer asked us if he can turn on the APU, but as the cabin is not closed or doors are not closed, the boarding has not been completed yet, so we cannot start the APU at the moment. So we'll also set this on hectopascals. Now we will take a look outside the airplane. As you can see, cargo, baggage loading has been completed by GCX. Now we can listen the welcome message of the cabin crew.
We would like to extend a warm welcome to our frequent flyers and guests from other international partner airlines. So we can depart as soon as possible, please take your assigned seat, observe the no smoking and fasten seatbelt signs. Only light hand baggage should be placed in the lockers above you. All other items must be placed under the seat in front of you. If you are sitting by an emergency exit, all of your hand baggage needs to be securely stowed in the overhead locker and the crew will be happy to assist you. We are here to help, so please do not hesitate to ask any one of us for assistance.
So now the welcome message has been completed. We will have to wait. Now we will advance the time. And now the first officer will close the cargo doors, as you can see over here. Cargo doors are closed. So now we will review our SID to make sure we know how we have to do it. So now we will departing on the MixI 1 Alpha, as you can see over here. we will depart on runway 06 right, correction, sorry, on the 04 right, sorry, and at 6,000 feet, no, at 600 feet, we will be on that airnav point, which is CPH-360, and we will have to turn left to heading 009, and we have to complete the turn at least at 1,700 feet. Then we will continue up to Charlie, well, CH369, which is our second airnav point. Then we will turn to heading 284 to Sorga, and then we will fly on heading 328 to Mixi, and then we will follow the route, our en route that is set on our flight plan. So that's our standard departure for today. We have Mixi 1 Alpha on runway 04 right. We will also check later on the taxi we will have to do. So now 2 minutes left. We will have to wait 1 minute more. Now the cabin crew will tell us that the boarding has been completed. The flight attendant will do so.
Passengers are
You can
seated.
see. Thanks, it will be a short taxi.
Thanks.
So now the cabin has been closed, and we can tell the flight attendant to pressurize the cabin crew to arms lights.
Cabin crew, arms lights.
Okay. Now we will have to pressurize the hydraulics, so we'll call the crew, the ground crew. Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Can we pressurize the hydraulics?
Roger, you can pressurize the hydraulics.
Thank you. So we can pressurize now the hydraulics, and we will start our APU now. Start APU. Start APU. Start APU.
Starting APU.
Okay, now yeah. So the first officer will turn on the APU. As you can see, the finger is now turning to its initial position. We'll have to wait for the EGT to come down, well, to come up and then down, to start our APU and set the APU in the buses. Okay, so now the APU has been started. We can say APU on the buses. We will give that instruction to the first officer. APU on the buses.
Roger.
And now we will be able to start our before start
APU
procedure.
on the bus.
Before start procedure.
Check.
So now he will disconnect everything, all the ground equipment, and will prepare the aircraft for the pushback. Meanwhile, we will check the taxi route we will have to follow. So as you can see over here, we are at gate Charlie 30. We have to make the pushback facing south, and we will have to taxi via Quebec, Zulu, Bravo to just give me a second, I'm loading the chart. Okay, we are here. We have to taxi via Quebec, Zulu, Bravo to holding point Bravo 1 on runway 04 right. So we will request our pushback on GCX now. Let's see. And then we will make our before start checklist. We don't want to start the engines before pushback. Now we perform the before start checklist. Before start checklist.
Before start checklist. Flight deck door closed and locked. MCP
B2150, heading 039. Altitude flight level 120.
Takeoff speeds.
B1142, B rotate 143, V2150.
CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Rudder and aileron trim.
3 and 0.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Anti-collision light on. Before start checklist complete.
Start sequence is 2 then 1.
Check.
So now we are ready for pushback. We can release the parking brake. So now we will give the instructions. We set off the hydraulic A pumps. Start engine 2.
Starting 2.
So now he will follow the procedure to start the number 2. Around 25% of N2 we will have to pull up the engine lever valve, and we will have to select it to idle. So we are on 24 and 25 up. So we check the EGT and the N1 is going up. So now we check the pushback is going okay.
Starter cutout.
Starter has been cut out, so we can start the number 1. Start engine 1.
Starting 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now commence the safety demonstration.
Parking brakes.
Each aircraft may be different, so we'd appreciate your attention to the TV monitor closest to you.
So the same, around 25% we set up our condition lever to idle. 24, 25.
Unlocking gear.
So now we check the EGT and the N1 as the other engine.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass being removed.
Meanwhile, GCX is completing the pushback. As you can see, the pushback track has been disconnected now.
Starter cutout.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Now the starter has been cut out on engine 1. The first officer is performing its before taxi procedure. We will have to select. Well, we will have
Engine
to.
bleeds off.
Okay, thank you. Now we will have to say the flaps configuration for takeoff, which is 5. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
And now we will have to make the flight control check. Flight control check.
Ready.
Full left. Full right. Center.
Check.
Full up. Full down. Center.
Check.
Full left. Center.
Check.
Full right. Center.
Check.
Flight control check completed. So now ground equipment has been disconnected, so we will be ready to taxi. But before that we have to perform the before taxi checklist. Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist, generators on, propane on, anti-ice off, isolation valve closed, engine start switches continuous, recall
Checked.
checked, auto brake, RTO, engine start levers,
Idle detent.
flight controls,
Checked.
ground equipment
Clear.
clear. Before taxi checklist complete,
Clear on the left.
clear right,
So we can start the taxi now. Remember, our taxi, we will set it again to the chart, will be via Quebec, Zulu and Bravo, and we will have to cross runway 1230, which is not in use. So Quebec, Zulu, Bravo to Bravo 1, runway 04 right. So come back to the simulator, we start our taxi now. So we are now on Quebec. So it's Yankee this one, and the next one to the left will be Zulu. So you can see on the ground, left to Zulu.
hello flight deck. Okay, thanks. Captain, the cabin is secure.
Okay, so the cabin is secure, so we will be able to take off now and to perform the before takeoff checklist once we are arriving to the runway. This is Bravo, so we have to turn to the right now. Confirm clear to cross runway 12.
I affirm, clear to cross.
Okay, so we are clear to cross the runway. So we'll taxi now straight ahead to Bravo 1, which is our holding point. We will increase a little bit our speed because it's decreasing. too slow now. So we now perform the before takeoff checklist. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
Flaps 5, green light.
Stabilizer trim.
5.1 units.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Bravo 3 now. Just a little bit straight ahead more to Bravo 1 and 2. So now we are reaching the holding point and we will perform the runway entry procedure once we reach the holding point. We will be departing on Bravo 1. Runway entry procedure.
Check. Cabin crew, take your seats. Ready to go.
So we are now ready for takeoff and we will take off now. Takeoff.
Check.
And one toga.
Check. Thrust set. Knots.
Check.
V1. Rotate. Positive right.
Get up.
Engine bleeds on.
Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Flaps up.
Flaps up.
After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist, engine bleeds, on, packs, auto, landing gear, up and off, flaps, up, no lights. After takeoff checklist, complete.
Select Command A.
Command A. Transition altitude Cessna. Are you happy to release the cabin crew?
No.
Okay, something is wrong here.
Okay, now the autopilot has been set. And we are now climbing to our initial level 120. So as you can see, we are reaching CPH-369, which is our second airnav waypoint, and now we will fly to Sorga and then Mixi. So we'll set up now our final cruise level, which is flight level 340.
Release the cabin now?
Yes. Yes, please.
Check.
Ladies and gentlemen, our complimentary in-flight entertainment system contains a great selection of movies and TV programs. There is also a dedicated children's channel. All entertainment will commence shortly and will be available until we arrive at the gate. The complete selection of entertainment available is detailed in the in-flight magazine located in your seat pocket. You can now use your electronic devices as long as flight mode was selected prior to our departure.
So now I'm back again with you. We are now climbing again, still climbing to our cruise level, which is flight level 340. We have a traffic 5,000 above us. Let's see if we can see the traffic. No, we cannot see the traffic. We will reset our heading. Select. Yeah, on cruise we don't have to do many things. As you can see, everything is correct over here. We can say something to the public.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our cruising altitude, so I'm going to switch off the fasten seatbelt sign. However, we do ask that, just as we do here on the flight deck, you keep your seatbelt fastened. Thank you.
So we'll take a look at an external view of our airplane, as you can see here. Engines are really detailed, as you can see, are really great. And yeah, we are flying to Bergen. Bergen is a really interesting airport because on short final, normally at 1,000 feet or 1,500 feet, we have strong wings now, so it's really interesting. It's a really interesting airport to visit and to fly over there, and that's what we are doing now. Fly there. We are flying on a VAO with a call sign of Liftair 6 Juliet Tango, as you can see on the description. Well, on the description on the video, and that's everything. We are now climbing. We are reaching flight level 340. We have a traffic 2,000 feet above us. Let's see if we can see the traffic. No, we can't see the traffic. Right.
Level.
So we have finally reached our cruise altitude, flight level 340. Now we can check the meter of the arrival airport, which is Bergen. Let's see. So as you can see, wind is really heavy at 1,200 feet. Wind is 150 at 33 knots, gusting at 45 knots. So it's really windy over there. And we will expect to land on runway 17 because wind is 150 at 33 knots, so totally headwind. And we will check the charts now to see the arrival. Let's see. Just give me a second. I'm setting up. Nope. No, we are arriving to Bergen, which is Echo November Bravo Romeo. Okay, we check the aerodrome ground chart. We'll be arriving by runway 17, and we'll be arriving via the east of the airport, and we will arrive via Badab, as you can see over here, and we will follow the Badab 1 November arrival. As you can see, many airports as Norway's have the merge points arrival system, which is a really brand new system, really efficient system, and we will perform today an arrival using that, the merge point system. Let's see how it goes. So we will arrive via Badab 1 November, and our final our clearance limit, our initial approach fix will be Gilva. So we will set up that on the FMC now. So we can go to departure arrival via the ILS 17. Transition will be Gilva, and arrival Badab 1 November. Click on execute, and we check that everything is loading correctly. Okay, Gilva, fine, yeah, it's totally correct. So we are about 175 miles from top of descent. So according to FS2CREW standard procedures, we have to start setting up for descent at around 100 miles from top of descent. So the top of descent will arrive in around 20-25 minutes. So meanwhile we can talk about FS2CREW. As you can see, we are flying with the voice control, which is really interesting and really realistic. And one great thing that is now available for the FS2CREW is that we can simulate failures of the PMDG 737, and we can follow the standard checklist and the standard procedures from the quick reference handbook of the 737. To do so, we have to set up our FS2CREW on the Australian mode. As you can see here, we click on the sec, we click on audio, and crew region has to be AU, which means Australia. So if we don't set the crew region to Australia, we will not be able to follow these failures procedures and so on. This is brand new on version 2 of the 737NGX reboot version of FS2CREW, and it's pretty good. We'll see maybe on some videos later on we will see some failures or something, as we have the random failures activated on the 737. So who knows, maybe an engine failure, engine fire while taking off, or something, or a depressurization on cruise altitude. We don't know what can happen. I have the quick reference handbook over here prepared just in case. are about 120 miles from descent, and we will start our descent procedure soon. We'll prepare the cabin for descent soon. So meanwhile we can prepare the approach briefing. We will be arriving via STAR, which is standard arrival procedure. The approach type will be an ILS. We will be landing on flaps 30 with blitz on. Our final approach fixed altitude will be, well, we will check on the charts now. Our final approach fixed altitude, we will check that. So just give me a second. Yeah, if we check that, we change to the ILS Whiskey runway 17, and as you can see over here, our final approach altitude, our final approach fixed altitude will be 2,500 feet. So we set that on our simulator, 2,500. Our minimums, if we come back to the chart, we are performing a Cat 1 DME approach. The aircraft category is Charlie for us, and the minimums will be 370 feet. So back to the simulator. And our missed approach altitude will be 3,000 feet, as you can see also on the approach plate. The runway condition is dry at the moment. We will use autobrake 2. As on Copenhagen, there is no ground surveillance, radar surveillance, as far as we know, at Bergen. So we said no. Then we will perform a double engine taxi, so we will not shut down any engine while taxiing, and we will be arriving to a gate. Then regarding the APU, we will start the APU once we are taxiing, but the first officer will wait for my call to start the engines. Then, as the concerns that we talk on the departure brief also, no concerns about weather or terrain. Well, maybe we can expect wind shear, so we will select wind shear just in case. As you have seen on the METAR before, wind is gusting at 45 knots, so it's really windy over there. And it will be our final sector today. So first of all, before doing the approach brief, we will perform the descent procedure. Let's start setting up for descent. Check. So now the first officer will select everything regarding the BREF and so on, and we will select also the minimums that we have to do so. We will set our BARO minimums, not radio, our BARO minimums to 370 feet. Okay. Now we will perform the descent well, the approach briefing, as we said before. So we'll play the brief.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
The arrival routing will be via the ATC assigned start, complying with all published speed and altitude restrictions for an ILS approach. Landing at flaps 30 landing. VREF is 150. Final approach fixed altitude is 2500 feet. Decision altitude is 370 feet. Missed approach altitude is 3000 feet. Taxi route in will be as assigned by ATC. Be arriving at a gate. We'll use the APU, but please delay the start until my command, as we have a long taxi. Wind shear has been reported. We will execute the wind shear escape manoeuvre if required. Descent speeds and navigation radios are set. Airport NOTAMs have been reviewed. Any questions, comments or concerns?
No, it was excellent, so not today.
Approach brief complete.
So the approach briefing has been completed, and now we can perform the descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Pressurization. Landing altitude is 150 feet. Recall checked. Auto brake. Level 2. Landing data.
VREF 150. Minimums 370 feet.
VREF 150. Minimums 370 feet. Approach briefing.
Completed.
Descent checklist complete.
So now we have completed the descent checklist, and we will be starting our descent around 80 miles, 76 exactly. So our initial descent will be to flight level 200. And now we have to wait for the top of descent to come. As you can see, there are some turbulences, but we'll wait for the fasten seatbelts. now we will also have to check the transition level on the descent, the forecast page of the FMC. So we will check that on the charts. So as you can see here, the transition altitude is 7,000 feet, but this is the transition altitude. We are searching for the transition level. So we will set the transition level as the QNH is 1021 now. We will set the transition level at levels 80. This is something that the ATC has to tell us, or even on the 80s of the ATC it has to be shown, but as there is no ATC we have to see or to calculate more or less which is the transition level. Then we will set also the QNH, which is 1021 over here, 1021, and as turbulences are coming up and they are getting a little bit severe, we will turn on the seatbelt sign and we will tell the public that we are suffering some turbulences.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is London. As you notice, we get turbulence. And as a precaution, to return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
So now we come back to the simulator, and as you can see we are just 30 miles more or less from descent. Yeah, 30 miles from descent. And since we took off, we have spent 40 minutes on the air. We are arriving to Norway, which has a really great view of the landscape. Not today because it is not cloudy and we are approaching summer, so snow is going out, but it's pretty good. You can see the snow over there, and you will see arriving to Bergen it will be really great to see 45 knots of headwind on final. That's why we are flying to Bergen, because it is a really interesting airport. And who knows, maybe we will have to make the missed approach because we will have wind shear. We don't know, we will see. Just 20 miles from descent now. So we are now, as you can see, starting the descent to flight level 200. We are reaching Badab, our final fix, our final route fix. And from Badab we will follow the standard arrival, Badab 1 November on the runway 17. We will check again the METAR. And wind at 1,200 feet is 150 at 34 knots, gusting at 49. So really windy. QNH is still 1021 as set. Some turbulence is still over here. We are now turning over Bata. And as there is no ATC now on IVEO on Bergen, we will directly descend to our final approach fix, which is 3,000 feet. So we will set that on the MCP. We will also reset our heading select. Reaching Octos, but we have to be above flight level 90, and of course we are above flight level 90. We have also a speed restriction at airnav point Bravo Romeo 624, which is where we will have to reduce our speed to 220 knots. Then at Luti we have to be at least, well, we have to be above 6,000 feet. At Gilva we have to be at 4,000 or above. At Bablu we have to be at 3,000 or above too. So now we are descending through Norway to Bergen. From Copenhagen to Bergen as Liftair VA Tango on IVEO. We don't have any ATC online now, so we are on Unicom. And we are expecting the ILS on runway 17 because it's really windy today at Bergen, and wind is up to 34 knots and gusting at 49. So we will expect runway 17. Remember that at Bergen there is a system called merge point system, which is really brand new. We also have that system at Oslo, most Norway airports. We are flying with FS2CREW SOP1, which is based on the standard Boeing procedures. Maybe on some video later on we will fly with SOP2 or 3, which are really interesting too, but they are a little bit difficult too, so we have to study a little bit. Now we are crossing flight level 200 down to 3,000 feet, which is our final approach fixed altitude. We are a little bit fast, so we will deploy the speed brakes for a while to decrease the speed. have just crossed flight level 160. As you can see, there are some turbulences that we will find them on final too, because wind is really well, there are really strong winds on final, and we will see if we can land. So you can see over there the airport. It's over there. Some mountains over here. Turbulences are coming a little bit heavy now. We'll have to deploy again the speed brakes because speed is already increasing. So as you can see on this SOP of FS2CREW, we don't have to do many things because the first officer is doing almost everything. We only have to check something, but nothing else. So it's really easy to fly with that SOP. Even if we don't know the procedures of the 737, or we don't know something, with this SOP we can fly easily. Still the speed is really high, so we have to decrease now to 220. The restriction we talked before. So we keep the speed brake extended. You can see, for example, the wind view. The right engine. So we'll now set speed brake up because we are arriving to our desired speed, which is 220 knots. Now we will set the radius for the arrival on the ILS runway 17, frequency is 109.90. Set that here. We will set the course of the ILS, which is 170. Set over here and then on the first officer side, and then just in case of missed approach we have to follow.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
runway heading. So we will set the heading 170 just in case. Deploy again the speed brake. We are a bit fast. And we are on the on the merge point approach. We are turning now to the merge point, which is Gilva. Just seconds before the first officer made the cabin crew prepare for landing, because we are arriving. And once we cross the transition level, we will set the QNH, which is 1021, and we will perform the approach checklist. We'll set up the speed brake now. As you can see, weather here is perfect. There are few clouds, but we have strong winds, so we will see how is the final approach phase.
Transition level, altimeter's reset. 1020.
We'll check because the QNH maybe has changed to 1020. No, we have to set 102. Okay. So I'll deploy again the speed brakes. We are a bit fast for the approach now. And now we will fly to Gilva, which is our merge point, our initial approach phase. We will now perform the approach checklist. Approach checklist.
Altimeters.
1021 set.
1021 set. Approach checklist complete.
So now it has been completed. See an outside view of the airplane. You can see the strong turbulences over here. Then turning now to Gilva. So we are reaching the flaps, sorry, the speed 220, so we put up the speed brake. We are just 8 miles ahead of Gilva, so we'll continue with the approach. We will not halt as we
Glide slope live.
the glide slope is alive, but by the moment we don't need the glide slope. We will now set our flaps 1 configuration. Flaps 1 match speed.
Flaps 1.
4 miles from Gilva.
Hello, flight deck. Okay, thanks. Captain, the cabin is secure.
So now the cabin is secure. Hello Gonzalo, thanks for watching us. Now we set up our speed brake. Flaps 2.
Flaps 2.
And we will leave flaps 2 until we are on the localizer. We are now 1 mile ahead from Gilva. We'll be landing on runway 17. As you can see, we have strong headwind of 27 knots. Let's see how many wind we will have on final.
Thousand level.
So now we can arm the approach. We will leave flaps 5, flaps 2 until we are established on the ILS, and then we will continue with the flaps 5 and so on configuration. We are turning onto the ILS.
Radio altimeter.
Cabin crew, take your seats. Localizer alive.
Check. So we have the runway inside now. Over there. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
So we will set our speed to 160 now. We'll deploy the speed brake. As you can see, speed is increasing, but we have to reduce it. We are a little bit fast for the approach, but we will reduce.
Final approach fix. Height checked. Missed approach altitude set.
Gear down, flaps 15.
Gear down, flaps 15. Speed brake up.
Set BREF plus 5.
Set.
Flaps 25.
Flaps 25.
Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
We will arm the speed brake now. Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Engine start switches.
Continues.
Speed brake.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down.
Flaps.
Flaps 30 green light.
Landing checklist complete.
Cleared.
Check.
We are clear to land also. So we will Disengage the autopilot on the auto throttle. We'll continue on manual approach. You can see strong winds over here of 22 knots now.
1,000.
We are moving a bit due to the wind.
feet.
Plus 100.
Stable.
300. 200. Minimum.
Ground visible.
Landing.
Check.
$100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
So touchdown.
Speed brake up. Reverse as normal. Water brake disarm.
Manual brakes now. We'll leave the runway next to the left.
$60 knots.
Okay to clean up.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety and the safety of those around you, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and keep the aisles and exits clear until the seatbelt signs are turned off.
We have again just the runway and we will taxi to gate 26.
Mobile phones may now be used on board and smoking is not permitted inside the terminal. Thank you for choosing to fly with us. It's been our pleasure looking after you today. On behalf of your crew, we wish you a safe onward journey and hope to see you again soon.
Start APU.
Starting APU.
Yeah, as you can see, it has been a really smooth landing, even with the wind we had. So that's gate 26 over there. Lights and doors.
Check. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check.
We'll wait a little bit for the APU to start.
Doors disarmed, no APU.
APU is not started, still not started. We'll wait a little bit. Okay, it seems that now it will start in few seconds. Okay, so now APU is available. We will continue the taxi to the stand, which is over here to the left. we follow the marshal instructions. Approaching. As you can see, we are a bit near to the finger, as you can see on the left here. But that's the instruction the marshal is giving to us. 3 meters. We will approach a little bit more. We'll see. And we are done now.
That's 3 minutes.
3 minutes since we land, so engines are cooled down and we can switch off engine 1, engine 2, and the first officer will perform the shutdown procedure. We'll reset the varos.
Check.
We detune the knobs. I will request the deboarding. Now we can connect the external power too. Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Please connect the GPU.
Roger, connecting the GPU.
So we will connect the GPU in 5 seconds. We can open cargo doors now too.
Captain, the GPU is connected.
Okay, the GPU is connected, so we can switch off the APU now. We can unlock the door, flight deck door, and we can perform the shutdown checklist. Shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps off. Propane off. Hydraulic panel set. Flaps
up.
Parking brake
released.
Engine start levers
cut off.
Weather radar
off.
Off. Shutdown checklist complete.
So finally we will see how passengers are deboarding now. See on the finger over here, and the baggage is also unloading on the aircraft. So that's all we can see today. As you may see, we have been doing a flight from Bergen to from Copenhagen to Bergen for Liftair VA. Our call sign has been Liftair 6 Juliet Tango, and as you can see, there has been a smooth landing with a landing rate, let me check, of -138, so it's really good. We have arrived with a remaining fuel of 3.1, so it's good. In case we had to make the missed approach, we would have had the fuel to do so. And yeah, thanks for watching, and just wait for the next video. Who knows where we will fly in the next video? Maybe to somewhere in Greece, maybe somewhere in Spain, we don't know. Well, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.